Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Man United agenda. This is the weekly gossip column show. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Man United agenda. Today, I have Paddy. Paddy, how are you?
Very well, thanks. Brilliant. Thank you for being on the show. It's great to be here at MAISEY. But, I'm looking forward. Yeah, I'm okay. Doing well. I was there last Tuesday at Madrid. A bit upsetting, but I'm all right. I've got over it slowly.
Exactly. It's still hurting me, to be honest, that Madrid loss. And I can imagine, though, the atmosphere was brilliant, wasn't it, Old Trafford?
Oh, it was magnificent, to be fair. I don't think I sensed it until I got into the ground, really, or just up to the ground is what I sensed it. But it was, I was really hopeful. But what can you do? I knew what was going to happen in some respects. I think.
Well, I did predict what will happen, and what I did predict actually happened. What Atletico will do, or what we will do. So it went right, unfortunately, and I was right with the 1-0, and it could go either way.
Well done, Maisie. Well done, Maisie. I thought we might sneak it, but when I saw how the team played, I thought, well, they let us all down. I think most of the people there were sort of, thinking they were going to do it. But everyone got carried away, didn't they, by the result at the weekend? And I heard those comments after the game from some of the fans. I was waiting outside the Lou Macquarie fish and chip shop, and they go, I can't believe what's happened tonight. Ronaldo scored a hat-trick on Saturday. What happened tonight? So people still think we're going to win one game, then win the next one. But they were different when they Madrid. They were brilliant. They came and defended well, and they played well. Played their game.
Exactly. That's just exactly how Simeone plays. But let's go on with Simeone first, considering we mentioned about Atletico Madrid, because Gary Neville has come out and said that he does favour Simeone to become the next Manchester United manager. I think Simeone is a brilliant, tactful manager. He's been at Atletico now, over 10 years. He's won 2 La Ligas. He's got a couple of Europa Leagues there. The thing he hasn't won, though, is the Champions League, which, of course, he could potentially get there in this year, depending on how things go with Atletico. But for you, though, Paddy, what do you think about Gary Neville? Do you think we should go for Simeone?
I spoke about us having Simeone a long time ago, but my views changed over time because he's a very defensive-sided manager. Is he going to play the Manchester United way? But he will win your football matches playing the way he played on Tuesday night, definitely. But I did favour him a while ago, but that waned a bit. And I said, well, you can bring the manager and bring the goalkeeper, but we've got a good goalkeeper at the moment anyway. But if we needed to change it, Jan Oblak definitely would be for us. And he's a Man United fan as well, which is great. And Slovakian Man United fan, been a brilliant goalkeeper for them. But I think, it's a good call. And Gary knows his stuff, doesn't he, to be fair? But he does. I mean, Simeone might be a good, but his problem is he's the highest paid manager in La Liga on a lot of money. So he may not want to just come to the Premiership or come to us if we're not paying. But he might not be. He might need more ambition now because it's been there a long, long time. I don't know whether they're the same club. He's evolved that team for so long. I don't think it's going to happen anymore, possibly for him. But they might sneak. They might beat Man City and get the Champions League final if they play the way they're playing. But Man City might have a bit more for them. But yeah, it's interesting. I read that this morning from Gary coming on about Simeone. I don't know. Again, it's a question mark now. Well, I would have had him a year ago, 2 years ago, possibly, but that interest waned with me, I think.
Mm-hmm. Same with me in terms of Simeone. He does rate, as much as I think he's a brilliant manager, it does raise a couple of question marks for me. Yes, I would like a manager who will be able to go to the board and say, I want this, I want this. I want it to be like this. And I know Simeone would be that type of manager and he would be able to keep the players in line. But the only thing what worries me about Simeone is that will he get the backing from the board? Because we've seen that he hasn't always, like ex-managers haven't always had the backing and it hasn't worked. And for two, how long would his style of play suit Manchester United? Because a lot of people are saying, I don't like Jose Mourinho football. I don't like Louis van Gaal football. This is boring defensive football. But Simeone is a defensive football as well. He is happy to be at a counter-attacking team at home just so he can get them 3 points. So I think we need to think on what is best for the club, and I think in putting them factors in mind, if he would get backed, and of course the style of play, would he truly suit Manchester United for you?
No, you're right. Yeah, right. I think you're right. I think the fans would soon get tired, maybe, and then would turn on him. Same with Mourinho. Same with Valhalla. It's something about us, about the style of play that we've loved, and we've had it all the way through the years we've had with Sir Alex, even before then with Tommy Docherty in the 70s. You know, that style of play all sticks with. I'll tell you what I could have. I'll have the goalkeeper, and I'll have the young kid up front, Felix. Definitely have him, but. You're right. I just don't. I think probably not. And I'm surprised at Gary, because Gary knows the Man United way and the way we attack him, way we play. I'm surprised he came out with Simeone. Maybe because of him winning and the way he won on Tuesday night. You know, he got away. But I'm surprised at Gary. I'm surprised. It's a little bit surprised at that. I just don't think it will work. I think the fans would turn on him quick. You know.
I agree with that 100%. And like, we've got so many players leaving at this moment in time, and Simeone will have to adapt to a very unbalanced team, because all the managers who have been here, from all the way from Sir Alex Ferguson to now, we've had all different signings from all different eras. Fergie, Mourinho, Moyes, so all the different managers have at least got one player in there in this squad. So the balance of the squad is very, very unbalanced. And could he make that impact straight away with the team he's got at the moment? And even that is raising questions, because he's only going to get 2-3 signings in the summer, I'd probably say.
Yeah, right. But he's going to have to be clear out. We know the problems with the defence and the midfield, and possibly we might need a striker up front as well. Because even though we've got Martial coming back, I read that this week from Seville. He can stay where he is, to be fair, in Seville. He can carry on from Seville and then just travel around Spain and then carry on all up to wherever. But no, I don't want him back. But you're right. Problem with Simeone, he's quite ruthless. He puts Suarez. He's dealt with big players, and he's a tough cookie, as we found out when he played against Beckham all them years ago. He's a tough cookie for Argentina. He's a tough manager, and he's done really well. That's why they pay him so well. So I like that ruthlessness in Simeone. I think that would be good. I just don't know whether it fit United in the way we need to play. But he won't put up with nonsense. He will not put up with nonsense in the dressing room. I don't know whether Ronaldo. I mean, I don't know if Ronaldo's got a year left. I don't know if he'll stop next year. I don't know. But would him and Ronaldo get on? Would they clash? Because I'm certain that Simeone would put him on the bench. Go, no, you're not important. Thank you. I just don't think he'd mess around. You know what I mean? I just don't think he would.
I know Ronaldo would be happy, especially if he got benched by Simeone, who was a rival manager for so many years as well. I think it would take a lot of clashing. I think, though, with the egos, what's already at the club as it is, not just Ronaldo who stays, whoever stays, if Paul Pogba extends his contract, that's another ego there. Bruno Fernandes has that bit of an ego at Manchester United compared to other players.
Fernandes needs to stop moaning. I watched him the other night. I didn't shout out in the seat. I won't shout out there. I was watching it closely. I had a really close seat as to what was going on. And I watched Fernandes go at the referee moaning. And then he carried said, Bruno, just get on with your game. Will it just get on with your game? He carried on. And then I watched Pogba. You mentioned Pogba earlier. You're right about the egos. He come on, running up down the field and did nothing. He's been a failure at this club. Pogba. I'd love a manager of maybe Simeone's stature to come in and clear these egos out. Even Maguire thinks he's the best captain since Bobby Moore in the World Cup. He does. I'm captain. Yeah, look, captain. Big playing for England this week. Got picked. What? Where? How did you do that? You know, yes, these are egos. I don't know whether there's an ego. This thing that's back. They reckon there's a battle between Maguire and Ronaldo in the dressing room. It's been muted. So Simeone will have none of that. I can tell you that now, because he's good. He's good at really cracking down on these people. You're right, Maisie. Definitely, that'd be good.
Yes. Before we go on to the next topic, we'll go through a couple of the comments, see what people are saying.
Yeah.
Sargon is in the chat. Hello there to Sargon. Gary Neville on Man United is not a good pundit.
Interesting.
Niall is in the chat. Hello there to Niall. Thank you for tuning in. And just as Niall has said there, smash that like button and smash the subscribe button to the Man United agenda. Also, Paddy, nice to meet you.
Nice,
yes, it's the first time me and Paddy's meeting as well.
Magic. Cheers, Niall. Nice to meet you. Solo Job. Yo.
Hey, Solo. How are you?
Solo class.
Hello there to my queen as well. Thank you for tuning in. I hope you're well. Just as the Man United agenda said, please give us a subscribe. The link is in the description, in the bio, so go and check us out. Ola has got a question here: Ten Hag or Poch? But he wants us to get Brendan Rodgers. Typical. Thank you, Ola. But for me, I would personally go for a Ten Hag. Take the risk. I know we've got a lot to rebuild anyway. I would personally take the risk. He's already rebuilt Ajax twice, and two of them have been completely different styles in the team in itself. You look at that 2019 team compared to now, they're two different teams for me. And Ten Hag, he uses the youth. He's attacking football, which people love. He uses that preferred 4-3-3 formation. We know that as well. He's one of them managers who can build the team as well as take the team to the next step forward. And I just feel like, for me, take the risk. We know that managers who's come from abroad has worked. Jose Mourinho at Chelsea, Ancelotti. We've seen Conte's worked as well. Tuchel's worked. So why not give that risk? Use Ten Hag. But who would you go for, Paddy, out of them two?
I wouldn't. Pochettino's a serial loser. I wouldn't have him at all. I'm sorry, he's a loser. 1-0. Got close. Yeah, he's like the number 2 in the hit. You will remember this, Maisie. I hope the people listening will remember this. But he was always number 2 in the hit parade, never number 1. Yeah. That's fantastic. No, it isn't. We got to win. We got to win. You've got to win something. Got to be something. Someone's got to be used to winning something to understand winning. I think Ten Hag, you're right. He joined in 2017, didn't he? And he's won 5 trophies, including 2 league titles. But people will say, "Well, that's Ajax. Anyone can win a team." And my pal will say, Kieran, he might be listening tonight, will say, a United fan up in Manchester, say, anyone could, I could manage Ajax. So there is that. But I think you're right. I think you're right, Maisie. I think we should take a chance on Ten Hag. He's got a really good pedigree, and I think he would do well and but he's got to come in with some real tough authority. But there's no authority at the club at the moment, and some of them players. And do you know what I'd love him to see? I don't know if you remember. I was remembering this today about when Guardiola came to Man City. He said to Joe Hart, "You're not my goalkeeper. You are not my goalkeeper. You're gone, mate." What? You just joined. Gonna give me a chance? No, you gone. And I wish he could come in, Ten Hag, to that team and go, Harry Maguire. Yeah, I'm the captain. No, you're not captain. You're not in the centre half, mate. You're gone. And
exactly, you need that ruthlessness.
Yeah, it's spot on, straight down the line. Sorry, and it might seem harsh, but I'm sorry. It's got to be coming with a crash, wallop, and bang out the door, mate. See ya. And obviously bring in some of his players he wants to see. But there's got to be a plan. You're right. There's got to be a plan somewhere, because I think with Man City and Guardiola and the backroom staff there, they've always got a plan who they're going to buy, regardless of the money they've got, Maisie. Yeah, everyone will say they've got money, Man City, but you know what? There are some good players out there. There really are. There aren't a lot of money. You can plan and build Ten Hag. I'll be well behind him. He's going to be given time. Will you get that time in the Premiership though? That's the problem. But I think it's a good. You're right. The risk, because the next manager is so important. It really is, because the fans will turn quickly on manager that we don't get results. That is the Premiership. Sir Alex will tell you, you haven't got long in this Premiership. You really haven't these days. You haven't got the time. So it's really a difficult one, but a really important one.
I agree. And I think what manager who we do bring, we need to be a bit like Man City and Liverpool, to the respect that we do need like a 5-year plan, for instance, because when we bring these managers in, we don't have a clear plan of what we want to do, the strategy we want to bring for the club. When, of course, Man City got new owners, they brought Pep Guardiola in, we could see there was a 5-year plan of what they wanted to do. When they brought in Klopp at Liverpool, it was clear they wanted to do a plan with Klopp to work. And look at them now; they're winning the Premier League titles. They're challenging for titles. Challenging to win the Champions League, winning the Champions League. Of course, City hasn't, but Liverpool has.
Yeah.
Sometimes, though, not always a strategy does work. You look at Chelsea, for instance; they're more short term, but maybe that could change depending on who the new owners may be.
You're right. I think the plan is important, because if we don't have a plan, we're just going to go round and round in circles like a merry-go-round. And with this team, especially at the moment, it needs injection. It needs changing. It needs splitting up, adding a few players, getting the standards back at in this club with these players, because the standards are low. And these players, I'm sorry, aren't up to the standard of Man United. De Gea definitely, but maybe is he coming? De Gea definitely will keep him. But there's question marks on most of the other players. Ronaldo's probably got a year left. Elanga's looking good. But a few of the other players need a bit of a, I don't know, if he keeps that same team and he can get the best out of that team, I'm unsure. I'm sorry. I can't. Did you watch the Madrid game with Dalot and Tellez?
I did.
And that first goal offside was a warning, but they didn't heed it because they're not clever enough. They're not astute enough, and they didn't really get any direction from the interim manager, Ratnick. No disrespect to him, but the others had a manager, didn't they? So they wouldn't have been caught out that way. So some of those players just aren't. He's going to have to come in and change that side, but have a plan at who he needs and targets those players that he wants. Be interesting. But it's got to be done soon, because it's dragging on a bit now, isn't it?
Yeah, I agree. It does need to be sorted, but I think if they are looking at Ten Hag or Poch, I think what they're going to probably need to look at doing, they'll probably wait until the end of the season to officially announce. So that's what I think will end up happening if they're looking at a manager who's currently in a job already.
So that again, sorry.
I think if the manager's currently already in another job, so like Ten Hag at Ajax, for instance, or Poch at PSG, whoever that will be, I think Man United will be very careful and probably not announce them till the end of the season, or unless one of them openly comes out and say, I'm leaving the club in the summer.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. That's going to be a difficult one to negotiate around, but I don't know. That's down to Richard Arnold now, but I'm just worrying. Is it Ten Hag? Everyone's saying Ten Hag on social media and Twitter especially. But if they went for Pochettino, I'll tell you one thing, I would just, and the Glazers wanted him, I just, it'll be disaster. And I don't think I'd be very positive about this. But hopefully it's Ten Hag. But Richard Arnold's the new chief exec now, and he's got, but the hierarchy at the club have to win here. This is Richard Arnold's first appointment since the other buffoon left. So, so it's going to be interesting. But you're right, they've got to have some plan, because the season will come. You've got the World Cups coming up as well, and that transfer window is going to be quick. So it's going to be a quick turnaround, and you've got to get these players in quick as. I mean, Sir Alex used to get these players in. They targeted what they wanted, got it. I know it was a long way back now, but this is what you've got to do. There's no point leaving it to the end of August to get those players in, and then stay with these other idiots we've got at the moment and blend them in, because we'll just. It'll be I'd love to know the plan. I don't want to see a strategy, but it's just like you say, we've got to be respectful. There's always there's always negotiations that go on, and approaches get made, don't they? Official approaches. So they'll have to do it properly, because it's be illegal. So hopefully they'll do it. But timing is of the essence. When?
Yes, I agree. Hello there to Matthew. I hope you're well.
Hello,
he has said no to Simeone, just a modern day Mourinho.
Interesting.
Bath Time is in the chat. Hello, Bath Time with Vaughn. I hope you're well. Nyla said Simeone is not for me. He's too defensive, bit like Van Gaal and Jose, in my opinion. Ten Hag plays attacking football, and it's evident the job he's doing at Ajax.
Yeah.
Bath Time has said, of all managers linked, Simeone has the best pedigree, but I don't see him as having attacking DNA we crave, which I completely agree with.
Yeah.
Hey Jamal, hello, thank you for tuning in. United's in trouble if we don't get a good structure with a good transfer strategy than the manager, which I agree with. Matthew has said Ten Hag to be first choice for us, and he's called Poch Botocchino. I like that nickname. I do like that nickname.
Serial loser.
Hello there to Anthony. Thank you for tuning into the chat as well. Yep. So we will go to the next topic now, which is, of course, we'll go to Van der Sar. Now we have mentioned Ten Hag because he is also linked to Manchester United, current CEO of Ajax. So there would be a structure there, a bit more of a structure in the board. And for me, what I always say is, you look at Manchester United as a bit more of a pyramid kind of thing. The players are at the bottom, then the manager, then the board, then the owners. If you look at the bottom half, what always gets moved every 2 to 3 seasons because it's not working out, but the top half, the top two always remains the same. That kind of toxic, what happened 2 years before, is just going to circle back round into the bottom half, and then it'll just go on and go on and go on. And I think with the Van der Sar links, for me, coming into the Manchester United to try and change up the board, I think it's a really good idea, and I think he's got that Manchester United DNA. He knows how Manchester United works, so I'd be all for Van der Sar, and I would be all for as well bringing the Ajax system into the board at Manchester United, because we've always seen the Ajax system has worked. So bring that to Manchester United. There's no reason why, if that is worked properly, why we couldn't go on and start competing for things, because how long's it been now? What? Since 2013, since we've won a title. That is far too long for Manchester United. But Paddy, what are you thinking about these Van der Sar links? It's getting me excited.
I'm excited by it, to be fair, but we need to go back to, do you remember David Gill, who was brilliant with Sir Alex? He was very supportive. Did it, there's a really good structure going on, a really good plan. They knew what they were doing, working well together. Unfortunately, that's fractured at United. There's just there's no plan. And I think Van der Sar works well with Ten Hag at Ajax. And I think, again, he has the DNA. He was a brilliant goalkeeper for us, Van der Sar. Wonderful. And speaks fluent English. He's a smashing fellow, I bet, from what I've heard of him. So, I think it'd be good. And I think bringing the Ajax system into the United mix, that attacking play, I think it'd be a good mix. And I think, but we need to find out what's happening with Ralph. Does he go upstairs and then does he then advise Van der Sar? I'd rather Van der Sar came and Ralph maybe exits. But apparently he's there. I don't mind Ralph being there and advising possibly. I think he would be really good at that. Then my concern then is to look at the backroom staff, because I know Darren Ferguson, there's a few of the other ex-players are there, jobs for the boys, as Roy Keane says, and I'm totally with him on that. And Mike Field and a few of they need to be gone. So it'd be really good. It would be a really good plus point. And I think it'd be good for Ten Hag to have Van der Sar there. That again, you look at Sir Alex, David Gill, that combination, getting that back again and know what they're doing together, planning together. I think it'd be good. It would be a really good. I think it'd be a really good thing. I think I'd like that. I would. I really do.
It's good how you did raise Gill and Fergie with that kind of partnership. And I think when you do have a manager at the club, it is important to have that good partnership with your board, with, of course, your manager, because it works well and it can lead to success. As you've seen of Sir Alex Ferguson, you've seen there of Gill. We have seen that Van der Sar and Ten Hag have already got a good working relationship. So that, for me as well, will probably help Ten Hag, if he did come to the club, to settle in a little bit more, because he's got them couple of familiar faces around.
Yeah, and also look at Man City doing it under that managing director Guardiola, and then Klopp's got it as well at Liverpool. Same sort of connection with their sporting director there, so that works with them. And if we can get if Ten Hag can raise those standards and get to the quality of Klopp and Guardiola, because that's what we need. Because we're so far down that we're nowhere near that standard. Those two teams at the moment we're nowhere near. Well, it could be sixth if we're not carrying. We don't get fourth. So we need to hopefully, if that could really be positive. If we can really start, it's going to be a long way, but that'd be great. I think it'd be fantastic. I think it'd be really good. I'd look forward to that one, but we just don't know. But I think it's a really good shout. Dave, definitely brilliant. I'd love that. Love it.
Here's a good question now. If, for example, both of them was at the club, what kind of players do you think they would identify and target for the Manchester United team?
I mean, would they go back to the Dutch league, to Ajax, and possibly get some of their players from there? you've got to look far and wide, haven't you? And plan and get some of those players out there that people won't even think about looking at. I think. I hope they don't get too tunnel vision and look at the Dutch league, and I hope they don't do that and they start looking far and wide. We're bringing players of quality, like I suppose like what City did with their right back, who I love to death. What's his name?
Cancelo.
Cancelo is brilliant. I think he's class. Apparently he was on offer apparently. So some time ago when I read in the news that we turned him down or we didn't go for him. So players of that stature and that quality that I'd love us to bring in that you wouldn't come across. I'd like that, definitely.
Don't get me wrong, though. I wouldn't reject any of the Ajax players because there's a couple who I already have in mind because I quite like Timber from Ajax and he's still only young, fast centre back. And Antony, he's a right-wing player and especially with Manchester United, we've only got one proper right-wing player. So if that meant Sancho going on to the left and Antony playing on the right, I'd be all for that. Yeah,
I think Elanga and Sancho, I think they're two great players at the moment. And Ten Hag can bring them on, bring the best out of them, which Ralph is doing with Elanga, to be fair. And Sancho's, he's showing signs now of improvement. He seems to be getting I was really, really impressed with him. Obviously, didn't do it the other night because I think that part of his game has got to be a bit more incisive, really, a bit more, go for it. But I think definitely he'd bring those two players to the fore, definitely. And would be a great young manager getting these players. Yeah, definitely. But I'd just love to, go back to Ajax, but not, but look elsewhere as well. But I'd love to see their plan, definitely. But
we definitely need to look abroad in it.
We need to get the centre back sorted out. We need to get that right back and left back sorted out seriously because that spine needs sorting out. Brian Clough used to talk about how he used to build. You probably remember him, Maisie. Brian Clough.
I like Brian Clough. He's one of the greatest managers for me.
I know what I'll do, right? What we'll do, we'll just get the back sorted out and decide that I'm right. So, support with Brian Clough. But getting that back forward needs sorting out, and we can look at the midfield as well. But we have to build there. There's where our weaknesses are, and we can't have our captain booed off after a game, can we? I've never ever seen that in my whole entire life. And so that's what he's got to do. So we really do. We've got to get these players. Otherwise, if we leave it and we're gazumped or we don't get those targets that we need, we're going to go into next season with a new manager, hopefully, with not the targets we wanted. It's going to be really bad, and then we're stuck with what we've got. You go, oh no,
exactly. We don't want to be feeling like that, but. No. Before we go to the final topic, we will go through a couple more of the comments. Anthony has said Paddy is in the new Betfred advert.
I am. Yeah, I am. That's true. Anthony's right. I am.
Brilliant.
Well spotted. Yeah, I am.
I'll have to keep an eye out for that one. Bath Timer said De Gea will be the first player Ten Hag benches will be interesting. And Matthew has said De Gea should be moved on. We need a young goalkeeper who plays the modern way. Matthew is still in the chat. Let me know what kind of a goalkeeper who you would like to bring to Manchester United. Niall has said, apparently I saw the reports, correct me if I'm wrong, that rumoured apparently supposed to be getting announced who the manager is by the end of the week. I think it's just depending on who we do actually get. Because if a manager isn't in the contract at the moment, I think we probably will be announced. But I think if it is going to be a manager who is already in contract with another club, it's going to be a lot more difficult. And unless the manager openly comes out and says, I don't want to be at this club, I'm not going to be here end of the season, I don't think it'll be announced until the season's ended for Man United, if you agree there, Paddy.
No, I agree. But it would be nice, though, to see it a little bit earlier so we can plan a bit earlier, and Ralph then can sort of like take a bit of pressure off him then, knowing what's going on. But yeah, I agree. But going back to Matt's point about the goalkeeper, by the way, a young goalkeeper, because we had De Gea very young, and he struggled, but he turned out to be class. But I still think would we get Jan Oblak, because possibly would he be a good fit? I wonder what everybody thinks about Jan Oblak coming. But De Gea's been, again, he's becoming a player of the season this year. Is he going to be there next season? But you're right. I think it's a really good point Matt makes, actually, about having a new up-and-coming class goalkeeper for the future, definitely. Because I don't think we've got any. I'm sorry, I don't like any of the English goalkeepers we've got. So at the moment, no way, I don't. I don't need Dean Henderson. Not a chance. None of them. I'm sorry. I don't think we've had a great English goalkeeper since Shilton and Clements, unfortunately. That's my view. I just don't like any of the English goalkeepers we've got. And that's a terrible thing to say. You know?
A lot of people wanted Donnarumma at Manchester United, especially knowing he was on a free. But I don't know if you watched PSG, but he did make a horrific mistake against Real Madrid, and I think that's questioning a lot of people's minds from Manchester United. I think, did we ever want him?
Yeah, I don't think he was in the running, but Jan Oblak has been muted, possibly, but I don't know. It's interesting, but the Donnarumma, no way. I think he's going to be staying at PSG with Pochettino or moving on. I think he might be back to Milan but PSG looked to be dismantled. I think given the what happened the last game with Real Madrid, that was an incredible game and a shock result for me. So we'll see. Yeah, it's interesting, but you're right. Yeah, we'll see what happens there.
Yeah. Bath Timer said, Ten Hag, I don't think we'll fancy any of our fullbacks or left-wing players. Yeah, I probably agree with that point. Yeah. So we'd need at least one new fullback, a striker, a right wing, and a midfield cover. It's a lot of players to get. Will we get that in one window? I really doubt it.
Over a period of time, I suspect. But I suppose Bath Time with Vaughan. What about centre backs as well? Because that's going to be the centre backs. People say, "Oh no, they're okay at the moment." I mean, people know they're not okay. None of them are. After that, man, you look back to all our annihilations from Man City, Liverpool this year. We've got to raise our game at the back there, haven't we? So you're right, but we do need those players you just mentioned, definitely.
Matthew thinks that Ten Hag will like Sancho. Yeah, I think he will like Sancho as well.
Yeah.
Baftan said, yeah, my bad. I meant right wing, not left wing. He'd love Sancho. Yeah, he definitely would love Sancho. Yeah. Matthew, Sancho and Anthony on the wings, we'd be cooking. You know what you're talking about, Matthew? I know that 100%.
Give it time, it'll be good.
Varda said, I don't know about Anthony. I prefer Raphinha from Leeds. And we'll go on to Raphinha in a couple of moments' time as well. Nyla said, I'd love Van der Sar to come back. Knows the club inside out, Maisie, you're right. It's like a triangle pyramid, top to bottom. Bath Timer said the Ajax system has won one European trophy in 30 years, which is interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
Matthew has said Ralph as CAO. Van der Sar as DOF, Paul Mitchell, head of recruitment, Ten Hag, head coach. We'd win everything.
Good call. Nice one. Love it.
Yes. We'll take Anthony from Ajax, Timber the centre back, and the midfield, who I believe is linked to us at Bayern. That is actually Gravenberch. He's linked to Bayern at this moment in time. I think it's roughly for around 12 million, if I'm not mistaken. So, to be honest, if you was linked to Bayern Munich, would you want to go Bayern Munich? Because as a player, you would, wouldn't you? They're a
brilliant side, a brilliant club, and they've got some fantastic players, haven't they? And they're always winning every year, aren't they? And they've always had good coaches, haven't they? And a great style of play, haven't they? Even the Dortmund are a good team as well. But Bayern, a major powerhouse in German football, aren't they? They really are. And who'd want to not play for them? And Real Madrid, I suppose, in Spain. Big names.
AJ there has said Gary Neville recommended him, and we got Bambi on ice, Wan-Bissaka. That's a good way to describe. Yeah. Anthony has said, Maisie, how do you know I'm a right winger? It was a guess. It was a guess. Good guess. Bath time. Are there any outstanding fullbacks on the market? I can't really name many who's currently on the market, but people are saying that Lamptey could be a good shout for Man United as a fullback. But then he has been quite injury prone, hasn't he, Paddy? So that is raises alarm bells, because when you're buying a player, you want to make sure that they've got a good injury record. Like you look at Bruno's, for instance, he's only ever been out 3 times. COVID, the flu, and he had a knee injury for 10 days. So his injury record is outstanding, and you want to look at players who are great, who also have a brilliant injury record.
I agree, because there's no point in us taking them on, because they'll just be out all season. We've just got to look at these issues, haven't we? Because it's really important those fullbacks that we get proper cover there and some proper quality in those left backs. I I don't like Luke Shaw. No way. I don't like Wan-Bissaka. I don't like Dalla. I don't like Telles. None of them at all. There'd be red cards. It'd be like Guardiola. Yeah, I don't want you. Don't want you. I don't want. You're not in for next season. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know.
So AJ here has asked, how will you guys react if we got Poch in the end? I wouldn't particularly be happy, but you've got what I always say, that you've just got to try and back your manager unless there's any reason that you can't back him. But I'm guessing from Paddy's face, it isn't a good reaction.
No way. That would just be disaster, and it wouldn't last. And it wouldn't last either. Lose the first. I just wouldn't. I think it's just disaster. He'd bring his own loser qualities to the team. He just wouldn't. I'm sorry, no way. It just wouldn't. You know, I think it's a mistake. I think what you said about Ten Hag and all the positiveness and how what he'd bring to the club, definitely. But Pochettino, no way. I'd boo him on the first game. You know what I mean? So. No, about supporting the club, about supporting the team. But Pochettino I've been dreading this all the way through in the when I've been hearing about it. I've been dreading it. Pochettino's coming. I've heard it on Twitter. I've had to go, no, he isn't. No, he isn't. He's not. And if he came, I'd be just so pissed off. You wouldn't believe it. Racked off massively. And yeah, Pochettino out t-shirts I get printed even before I start. But you're right. It doesn't bear thinking about. It really doesn't.
Mm-hmm. Matthew has said Mazzaroni from Ajax is a shout who we could get on the right back, and I believe he's roughly estimated around 30 million, I believe. So that was what we was estimated for Trippier, and and I think he's miles younger than Trippier, so he would be a shout for me. AJ has said Ethan Ladd, who's on loan, we could potentially put him as a right back. But do you feel like, for you, Paddy, is he ready to be in the Manchester United first team? Because I think it's a big jump from Championship football all the way to first team Man United.
I agree. I mean, we signed the kid from Swansea, didn't we? He went to sign on for Leeds. I think it was a bit of a jump for him. You know, the standards, it just wasn't up to the standard of Premiership football, and this, especially at Man United. When players took Man United, they can frighten them. Loads of players have come to Man United over the years and just got stage fright and gone, it's too big for us. This is the thing with Maguire again. He's just not. He isn't just for this club. He just isn't. Unfortunately, some players just are or not. I thought it was going to happen with Sancho at one point, but he seems to have turned it round. But you're right. Some players come from the Championship to us. I think that's a big. They need to play in the Premiership first and for a prolonged.
I think it'd be good that like a loan deal. Maybe Southampton could be a good shout. Maybe Brighton for a backup for Lamptey, something like that. Just as I wouldn't put him on a Norwich or a Watford, and I think that was poor from Man United to do that for Brandon Williams. But I think if you do someone who's a mid-table team, even Everton could be a good idea. Something like that.
Yeah. Give him some experience in the Premiership, but with a good side and play with it. Definitely. I haven't given up on Brandon Williams. You just mentioned him. Then he's at Norwich, isn't he? I think he's a great young player. I'm hoping he's going to come on. But again, it's up to him, isn't it? And what the new man. But yeah, you're right. I think it's a big risk, and we can't take risks anymore. I don't think now with moving forward. With Championship players. We've got to get some real quality in there now, and the standard's got to be high. We're not messing about because we just can't go through what we're going through now. We're a laughing stock at the moment. We've been humiliated by all these teams, by everybody taking the mick out of us. It's just really hard to deal with.
Mm-hmm. So we'll go into the last topic. It's a little bit more positive about Raphinha. He's got links to Manchester United in the summer. I know Manchester United fans were wanting Raphinha. Vaughn has already mentioned in the chat he'd rather have Raphinha over Anthony. I read he's estimated around 70 million to get in the summer transfer window. So I think he's a brilliant player. He's, of course, Premier League proven. And we have seen that players have come from Manchester United. I mean, from Leeds to Man United. We've seen that of Eric Cantona, and he's become one of the greatest players of all time. A legend at Manchester United. I'm not saying, of course, that's going to happen to Raphinha, but we can do business with Leeds if we really want to do that business. But I really like Raphinha, though, but with his price tag more than anything, because I think pay 70 million here. Are we gonna address other areas what need to address as well? Because as much as a right wing is a priority, I would say the CDM is a more of a priority. I say a striker is more of a priority as well. And I'd also say even a central midfielder, depending on the situation of Pogba and Donna.
Yeah, you're right. Again, we don't know the contract situation with Pogba, do we? And also, what we don't know, mate, is how much is the new manager going to be given? Because there won't be an unlimited pot of money like Newcastle are going to be given by the Saudis over there. So it's going to be interesting. We've got to spend it wisely and improve what we have to get. We've got a few players going to have to leave, I think, as well. So it depends on what we can bring in on that. But we've got to improve this side. And Raphinha, I mean, I looked at his stats early. Is it like 27 matches, 9 goals, and then 30 matches the year before that, 30 and 6 goals. He's not a great goal scorer, is he?
Mm-hmm.
So they, that, and he's a good, he's a Brazilian. They're all great players, the Brazilians. Some of them aren't they? He could be a great buy for us. But you're right, Cantona is a brilliant. You mentioned Cantona, and years ago we bought Joe Jordan and Gordon McQueen to come from Leeds. We bought some Alan Smith, I think we brought from Leeds as well. It was a great plus for us. But you're right, it could be. But again, do we have to look at the priorities? We have to look at the priorities we need, because we don't want to. We've got a leaky defence, and Leeds have got a more holier. They've got holes in that defence, holy Leeds, haven't they? They've got, and well, if they get relegated, they're going to have to. They may have to get rid. I don't think they'll be getting 70 million for Raphinha. They might have to just sort of take a hit. You might get him on the cheap, possibly. That's just a chance, maybe. Don't know.
Yeah, it's good you touched on the defence, because I actually say the right back is probably in the top 3 of the priorities. I'd say that back about the central midfield. I'd go there more. I'll go CDM, striker, right back. They're my 3 priorities for me.
But centre back for me, though, as well, because I'm concerned about I'm not going to be playing Man City Liverpool next season with those 2 idiots. I'll tell you that now. I'll be
We've got half of it. We've got half a central midfield.
I mean, I love Varane. No, Varane is a plus point. And give him Varane. Just don't want the others involved. I think I watched Varane and Maguire the other night at very close quarters and watched them closely. They don't speak to each other. There's no communication, and there's no leader as well. We've forgotten about that, Maisie. Yeah. We haven't got a leader in this team. We have got no leadership. We haven't got we've got a centre who's a captain. I don't know by default. But no one wants the band. Just grab that band off him. No, you're not having that. Sod off.
Mm-hmm. We seen a bit of Varane as a captain, didn't we, in that Champions League game? Do you think he could be good for a future captain material? Because I think so, but it's just that he hasn't been at the club long enough for me.
He hasn't, and I'm not seeing enough of him, I don't think, there. I mean, he's clever, but I will sometimes wonder why Real Madrid got rid of him, though. Is there an injury issue there? Why is that? And there's just this doubt on him, but he's played ever so well since he's come. I mean, he's a plus point for us, definitely. But I want to see him play with another quality centre. I suspect Varane is looking at Maguire going, I can't believe I'm playing next to you. I'm sure of it. I'm sure he's going, what are you doing here? How are you the captain? But they don't speak, so they don't communicate at all. I watch that. They just don't. I don't know whether there's any telepathy going on, but I doubt if there is with Maguire. But yeah, Varane, I think it's a future possibly. I think Varane's really good quality, definitely. But yeah, I think we're going to give Varane a chance. But you never know, do you, how things go next season.
Mm-hmm.
But you're right. But I think what do we keep Maguire? We can't, Maisie. We can't keep Maguire next season. Even though saying he's lost his confidence, does a new manager come in and goes, I can get this player playing at his best? No, don't say that. Just don't. Like Ralph said, he's my captain. He'll be my captain to the end of the season. I don't know whether he's got a script saying that, but I go, no, he's not. No, you've got to be more authoritative on that. Be fair with this team. So yeah, it's interesting.
Very interesting, and whoever the new manager is going to be, it'll be interesting to see the captains, the players they bring in. A lot of things will be completely up in the air in this Manchester United team, especially. But we'll wrap it up here. Yep. Thank you so much, Paddy, for coming on. It's been absolutely great having this discussion with you.
Thank you, Maisie. Thank you very much for allowing me to come on tonight and talk about it. It's been brilliant. Thank you. So thank you. You've got a great knowledge, by the way. It's great to see you. A good lady yourself, and women in general, especially. I'm loving the women in football. Loving them. Women football's brilliant, and I'm really enjoying it. So really good. And all the punditry's been excellent as well. So well done, Maisie. It's brilliant. It's excellent. Really good.
Thank you so much, and we've got to get you on again soon on
Yeah,
the column of. It's been brilliant.
yeah, thank you, Maisie. Thank you again. Thank you again for the opportunity. Thank you.
It's okay, and thank you everyone who has watched the Man
Yeah,
United.
thank you, everyone. Yeah,
Man United Agenda will be next live. It will be at 8:30 p.m. So go and stay tuned for that. And Paddy, would you like to shout out your socials as well?
Yeah, Admiral MUFC is my Twitter handle. Please follow me on there, and I'm there. So Admiral 1970s. Yes. Come on.
Love it. Yeah, I'm going to definitely give you a follow on my personal account when I finish. But we will see you all soon. It's a goodbye for now.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Bye all. Bye-bye.